people just look for the negative. My father-in-law calls them looky-loos or rubberneckers when the traffic slows down as you pass a wreck. Everyone just wants to see. But I've never seen traffic slow down and people stop and look at a beautiful sunset. Usually people just power on through. Why? Because we are drawn to the negative. In Matthew 17, verse 22, Matthew wrote this: "After they gathered again in Galilee, Jesus told them, 'The Son of Man is going to be betrayed into the hands of his enemies. He will be killed, but on the third day he will be raised from the dead.' And the disciples were filled with grief." So Jesus tells them he's going to die, as we all are someday. But then he tells them that he will be raised from the dead. Get that? Raised from the dead. The last thing he said and the first thing they did didn't make any sense. He's going to be raised from the dead, and their response? They were filled with grief. I mean, seriously? I think we all have this tendency. If there is anything that steals our joy more, it's the tendency to just skip the blessing and dive into the hardship. It keeps us pessimistic and despondent. Often our country goes from one outrage to the next, and with social media, they are easy to find. But imagine if we just did the reverse. What if we decided to look for the blessing harder than we look for the complaint? Maybe that's why God tells us to give thanks always, because ta-da, there's always something to be thankful for. I know for me personally, I'm much more joyful when I'm grateful than when I'm complaining. I'm more happy when I'm grateful than when I'm critical. And nothing feels better when I can really just overlook an offense and walk away completely free. Maybe God really does understand that being critical and being grateful are more choices of perspective than things that are thrust on us out of our control. At every moment, there are things to be grateful for and usually things to be frustrated with. But where we direct our eyes and our focus makes the difference. If we make the right choice there, our lives will be so much better. If we focus on the blessings and the reasons that we have to be grateful, we'll be more accepting of those around us. We'll be more kind and considerate. We'll be less demanding. Imagine a world of, come on, look at all we have. How could we even ask for more? Why don't you go first? Because, man, I'm doing great. Picture a life where people had more conflict over trying to give up their rights in generosity than demanding them in greed. When we refuse to be dominated by the negative and lean into the real positives that God gives us, we can handle so much more, see so much clearer, and really experience the life that God intended for us. And when we live that way, we'll have a better world. I'm Jim Campbell, lead pastor of Bay West Church. Until next time.